this computer.
Hello. TV.
Like, hi. Cool. I'm happy that everybody's here. For today, I prepared different kind of scenic writing exercises, what means that we're gonna have and try out different exercises on how to create text, for example, monologues for the stage. But of course, we only have 2 hours, so it's just like a view into it. But later on, I will share some scripts of mine with creative writing exercises. So if you want to explore more, you can even go further. Marta already has them, but then for the rest, I would make them available. So you can, from this basic what we do now, you can continue and see, okay, what else is possible. So, but first things first, a small check-in exercise, and I would invite you to look quickly through your room and find one object that represents how you feel right now, okay? So you go through your room quickly, find one object that shows how you feel right now, but don't show it in the camera yet. So, and now it's really simple. I can start. You just introduce how you're feeling and you introduce your object briefly so everybody knows how the group is doing. I have this. It's a peppermint stars, but it has these kind of things in there. And right now I still have a lot of work to do in different fields before I leave finally Greece, and it feels a bit messy. Everything is in the box, but really unorganized. So I'm a bit here and there. I pass on to Nicole. Galetta.
Well, I found those key holders. It's a minion. And I think it's dancing. And I'm in that mood. I'm happy to see you all, that's why.
Thanks. And who do you pass it to?
To Marta.
Hello. So today I bring this little box that I found in my kitchen. It was actually given to me a long time ago by an ex-boyfriend. I really never knew why, but he did. It has several parts, okay? But the idea of this box is for you to take one of these kind of clippers and just put them in a regular sheet. And basically how I feel today is that I need to cling to life and just put things together. And I pass to Flip.
Thank you.
I have this little spider. I'm trying to have more light because I feel a bit dark and messy, but willing to crawl around and discover a lot of new things. Krasimira.
Okay, I think my camera is making this momentarily, just momentarily. Ah,
You're there.
you can see me now.
Super.
It's a wonder. That was it. That was it. Okay, that's my notebook. Where I have taken notes during our LTTA sessions. So I had prepared it for now to take notes again. So this is my notebook. Yes, super. And I'll stop the video because it's slowing down my...
Don't worry, don't worry. Thanks for the info on how you feel.
Okay,
so,
thank you.
We start with a small warm-up activity, and it will go as follows. For the next 3 minutes, you're going to write whatever is in your head. This text is not for, this text is, you don't have to read it out loud or anything, this is just for you. So you will write what you're thinking, what's in your head, and you will not stop. That's the only rule. So even if you write banana bread, blah, 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 with your pen, you will not stop, okay? So it's just a continuation, and we try to do this for 3 minutes. And when I say go, you're going to start. But before that, do you have questions? Did you understand the exercise? Okay. So when everybody's ready, don't stop, don't cross out, don't do anything, just continue writing what's in your head. And let's start now.
Thank you for the music, Miriam.
No problem. And try to finish your last sentence. How was it? Was it easy for you to follow this? Was it maybe difficult?
It was easy. For me, it was easy. And the music...
I think you were saying something, because I don't hear you.
Yes. Do you hear me now?
Ah, wait a second, my bad.
So I said that it was very easy for me, especially with the music, which brought me back in Rotterdam in one of our sessions. It was almost a meditative condition, like, I don't know. It was very nice. Thank you, Miriam.
For the others, was it difficult, easy?
For me, it was easy too.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
I wrote more than one page. Just
Wonderful.
what's going to.
For some, yeah, sorry, continue.
Normally, I don't write. So maybe I'm putting everything out now.
Okay, so this exercise is really nice to get people into writing just to start, because a lot of times when you start writing, you think about it, oh, is this correct or is this wrong? You judge immediately. And with this exercise, it's really simple. Okay, just start writing. But it's important to let the people know beforehand, okay, this you can keep for yourself. You don't have this to show this to anybody, because otherwise you might have as well reservations again of, is it good enough, etc. Okay, so the next exercise is going to be a short brainstorming exercise. And for this, I prepared a Miro. Can you see the Miro now? Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Because I want to show how to do the Miro. It's really simple. The exercise we're doing is a brainstorming together. And the idea, I picked a random topic. My topic was now heroes. It can be any topic. With your theater group, you can pick any topic you want. You can decide on a topic. It doesn't matter. And I want to do a brainstorming. And everybody can take sticky notes from here, from the side, and just write their associations and write their topics, write their ideas they connect with the topic heroes. Okay, this is first part of the task now, and when we finished, I will tell how we continue with the creative writing. Okay. Are there questions right now? Because otherwise we're just gonna put different associations, ideas that we connect with the topic heroes.
So we put 3 associations?
Yes, 3 associations. When, for example, when I think about hero, I think about strength or a journey. And you just choose a post-it. You write, for example, journey, and you put it there. So in the end, we have a lot of different post-its on this side. Okay. Give me words.
So for me, David Bowie.
I will put in comments on Zoom so you can put them.
Okay, it's perfect. There
Death.
we go. Death, okay. Next one. Just give it in, just say it. I think that's easier.
Can you put for me ordinary people?
Ordinary, ordinary.
Heroes. Association with heroes.
I wrote resilience. On top.
Brazilians.
And power. Resilience.
Oh, Brazilian.
Brazilians.
I'll leave this. This is way too funny. I'll leave this. This is fun. So, generally, when you work in real life with people, you can, of course, make this on a flip chart. And a lot of times it's really nice when everybody's sitting around the flip chart and maybe 2 or 3 people are writing. So it's like, okay, our topic is, let's say, heroes. And then everybody just says the words and then the people catching it up and writing it. Yeah, it's a really nice way to make people concentrated because you always have to check, okay, who says something else, and check a bit with the group. So now, we will go together in groups of 2. I would put Oksana and Ola together in a group because they're sitting next to each other. And the other ones I will assign randomly in breakout sessions. And you will choose 3 words. 3 words of those. And then you will write a story with those 3 words. But you can go random, really, like just try to go with the feeling of your guts when you're in the breakout session, this, and that. That's it. And then you're going to write a small story on that in like 5 to 7 minutes.
Write the story as a pair.
Together, yes. So I will sign you in the groups. And you will choose 3 words and then with the gut feeling, and then you're going to write a small story, let's say a small fragment about with those, including those 3 words. And when I say fragment, I mean a part of a story. So you don't have to start from the beginning of the story and come to the end. A fragment is a part of the story. So you don't have to explain everything. You just start writing, this is happening, and then this person comes to there, and then you stop again. This is an excerpt from a bigger story when I say fragment. So don't worry about the beginning or the end, just a part of it. Everybody back? Yes. Yes. Perfect. So, Philippe, nice. Now we're watching Philippe present. I shouldn't have said filters, right?
Mickey Mouse.
Of course, I would like to invite now the group who wants to start to share their story or their fragment. So it doesn't have to have an end or a beginning. It's just a part of a story. Who would like to start?
I can start.
Super. Then all eyes on Philip.
Maybe I can share my screen so you follow along the story.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
So our 3 words were Mickey Mouse, superstar, luxury house. Can I read, Casimira? Yeah. One night, Mickey the Mouse was living from his poor dark gray hole in the basement of some luxury house. He dreamt every day and night over and over for a bright future, for adventures, good friends, love, and a nice piece of cheese. On his way to the storeroom, he knew he had to face all the cats of the luxury house. Because, as we all know, all the luxury houses must have cats. His brave heart was ready to stand up against the fierce wild predators. As sneaky as possible, he crawled through the hole with all his senses alert. But all he could see were fluffy, cute, lazy balls of fur. It looked like there was no danger. He was passing by and feeling like a superstar on a big red carpet, on his way to the Oscar, the big yellow shiny prize.
Oh, super bravo. Could do it like this. I think it's easier than the actual, yeah, oh, applause, super. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this nice story. Yeah, I will just pass to the next story. Who would like to continue? Oh, and by the way, I made a folder in Google Drive. And if it's okay for you, I will share it now so you can insert your story in there. Because I think it would be nice for the others to have these as examples.
Okay, just a second, please.
Yes.
Felipe, can we add just one more word at the end of our story? That the big yellow prize is the cheese, obviously.
Yeah.
If we have to, yes, to put the cheese. Thank you.
I'll add it.
Okay. I will share now the drive. There's a document. Wait, I share directly the document. For the ones who have it as computer, as you do, it would be amazing. For the rest, if you want to put it online, it's cool. If not, it's as well up to you. Here is the folder. Who would like to continue?
We can go.
Super. Thank you, Marta.
Nicoletta, will you read it or should I?
You can go.
Okay. And then he died. David was a symbol of resilience. He did all this magic with his music and people admired him as if he was a hero. Throughout his life, he overcame himself. He fought many demons, but he always won. But then the big sea came and he became fragile and weak. He died not long after he released his last album, and he was mourned as the last superhero.
Can you repeat the last first? Can you repeat the last sentence? I didn't catch that.
He died not long after he released his last album, and he was mourned as the last superhero.
Perfect. And Oksana and Ola, would you like as well to introduce your story? Fragment. But you're mute.
Sorry. So the story is Brazilians have a lot of stereotypes about Mickey Mouse because he doesn't look very Brazilian. Also, historically, mice used to be enemy to Brazilian food storages. So anytime Brazilians see a Mickey Mouse anywhere in the world, they point a finger in it and pay attention to their eatable belongings. Ola told that one day he even saw a person fainting when they saw a Mickey Mouse. This whole story taught Mickey Mouse to be more resilient and keep faith in humanity because he dreams going to Brazil one day to taste the best tapioca and learn to dance forró.
Thank you very much for the story. So, quick wrap up. Generally, when you continue working with a story, you can, after each story, give like a bit of feedback. What were your highlight moments from the story? Which kind of things did you like most? Do you have questions? What did you not get from the story? So this is something how you can lead through. We're going to go a bit quicker because I want to show you some more exercises. But I really like this exercise because you have only 3 words and you see which kind of really nice stories you can write together that can be based for something further. And as well, it's really nice, especially for people who are inexperienced with writing. It's so much easier to write together because they don't judge immediately. And when you write something alone, a lot of times people start judging what they write. Okay, now we continue. Yeah, is there questions?
One question
yes.
before. And why did you choose the word heroes in this case? It's general?
It's general. It's something positive. It's something with a big spectrum, because we can talk about everyday's hero, we can talk about like specific superheroes, and it's, I don't know, something people have like a positive connotation with. But as well, because right now I work a bit with a topic. So for me, it was like something that just fitted really well. You can maybe choose something with your group, something everybody's interested in. But it makes sense to have it broad, because then people can connect to. So you should find something everybody kind of can connect to.
Thanks.
Sure. Okay, the next exercise, we continue with heroes. And now we wrote something together. For next exercise, you're going to write something alone. It's as well possible to do exercises where a group writes something. It's as well an interesting process for 3 or more people to write something. In the end, it depends a bit on the people who are writing. But the next one, you will be by yourself.
Yeah.
So I'm going to share my screen in a second. Okay. You see, my digital skills are amazing. Okay, so do you see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. I now would like to invite you to choose one card that symbolizes for you heroes, or that you can connect with the word hero.
I'm sorry, Miriam, are these
Yes.
images from Dixit?
Yes.
Thought so.
You can take, for this, you can take postcards, any kind of images. It doesn't matter. Generally, maybe you want to put more. Right now, I thought this 10 or 12 are enough. Choose one of the cards that represents for you a hero or a heroic deed, a heroic action. Choose one. Now, I would invite you to write a monologue of this hero. A monologue of this hero you picked. A monologue, with monologue I mean first person perspective. So this person will talk about maybe what he or she sees, or what he or she experienced in first person perspective. So that's the important thing. You will talk out of first person perspective. A brief monologue about this hero or heroic situation. And while you are working, I will write you a secret message giving you an emotion you have to involve in your small monologue. Okay. Try to finish slowly. Try to write your last sentence. Remember, it doesn't have to be the whole story. It's just a part from a monologue.
Okay, to prepare meant to close the door because the washing machine is I'm sorry.
Don't worry, Casimira. Which, maybe first you can tell us which picture you chose.
Well, it is on the second line.
Yeah.
This one.
This one.
No, next to the right. Yes.
This one.
This
okay.
one. Yes.
Okay, super.
And
let's hear it.
And my monologue is from the boy speaking. Well, yes, it's scary, but I'm with you and I will always protect you. I'll always take care of you. I'll fight the biggest, the scariest monster and never let something bad happen to you. I want to wipe the sadness off your face and the fear from your heart. That's it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Let's continue.
Yes,
Sorry.
my word was sadness.
Oh, sadness. Sorry, yeah. Thank
Yes,
you.
my word.
So this combined with sadness. Thank you very much. Who would like to continue? And as well, yeah, the one thing I want to say before that, if you do this kind of writing with people, you can as well always leave the option of private text to the people. So maybe somebody is writing something and at one point this person realized, oh, this is a text I might not want to share with the group. This should always be an option. So people write freer, they don't have the pressure to show the text to the group, or maybe on different points. So when somebody decides right now I don't feel like it, or I feel like my text is private, that's completely accepted. I think it's really important to point this out sometimes, especially with groups that start with this writing. But who else wants?
I can go, but I overwrote it.
Mm-hmm.
It's really long, but I read really fast, so maybe it works.
Perfect. Which one is the picture you chose?
Surprisingly, the same as Krasimira.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, and just so you know, can I say my feeling, emotion, or I say in the end?
Sure.
It was happiness, but I only saw it when I was quite far in the text. So it goes like this. I wasn't alone, but the path was fearful. We were young, naive, and no one had ever told us we shouldn't wander around the forest at night. We were like those kids, characters of the Green Brothers tales, who get lost in the woods and are, well, it doesn't really matter, does it? He was my friend. I truly loved him, and I knew he would pass before me. We had read it in the teacups with the old lady who became our neighbor not long ago. She told us we could do something about it if we were able to find the wolf in ourselves. I had never heard or believed in such things, but I was curious. So we packed a couple of sandwiches and we head out to the city. We'd head out of the city. It got dark and the lights were low. But the moon, oh damn, that moon was on fire. And we just followed her into a lake. There were a few spirits around the fire, like in a Miyazaki's film. They asked us to dance, but we couldn't move. Frightened, stuck to the ground, we just gave a big leap of faith. And when we opened our eyes, we were also floating around the fire, dancing with the spirits. The moon was part of us. The lake was crying to the moon, and the rain came from the ground to the sky. I looked around, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. He left his body and got the shape of a wolf. He wasn't weak no more. He wasn't sick no more. He was strong and steady and happy and not afraid of what life would become. He became one with the earth, and I cried of happiness. There was my friend, a brand new, better version of himself, the mirror of braveness and calmness and peace. I closed my eyes, and I was confused. I cried for him, but I couldn't reach him anymore. He had gone, and I was still here. The memories of before gave me a warm hug, and I cried again. He had left, but he hadn't left me, and I was with him in every full moon night. I would hear his laughter in a wolf's cry, but never again was I alone.
Thank you very much. Perfect. Thanks for this really long story. Wow, in this short amount of time. Wow. Super. Are any questions? Was everything clear to everybody? Any questions for Marta? Okay, then I would move on to the next person who would like to introduce.
I can go.
Super. Thanks, Philippe.
Oh,
Which
my
picture?
My picture is the first on the bottom. Yeah, that one. And the emotion is disgusted. Okay. Relax. You have a long way in front of you. Your wings aren't fully grown yet. But you can't come again to the mouth of this monster. Yeah. I don't want to come again and feel this smell and dirty all my clothes. And not speaking that my wings get all wet and sticky. Disgusting. Alfred, it's time for you to focus on your objectives. If you want to be a real fairy like me, you shouldn't be playing around these dangers all the time. Think about all the people that will need you in the future, that will need your fairy dust to bring a smile, to cheer up. Without it, they will be sad, lonely people. But as you know, they can never find out that we fairies exist. We are sneaky and only spread the powder when they are dreaming. I believe in you, Alfred. One day, you could even be the fairy king if you really believe to. These monsters want to bring us back to the darkness where we don't belong. They want the dark side to I can go.
Super. Thanks, Philippe.
Oh,
Which
my
picture?
My picture is the first on the bottom. Yeah, that one. And the emotion is disgusted. Okay. Relax. You have a long way in front of you. Your wings aren't fully grown yet. But you can't come again to the mouth of this monster. Yeah. I don't want to come again and feel this smell and dirty all my clothes. And not speaking that my wings get all wet and sticky. Disgusting. Alfred, it's time for you to focus on your objectives. If you want to be a real fairy like me, you shouldn't be playing around these dangers all the time. Think about all the people that will need you in the future, that will need your fairy dust to bring a smile, to cheer up. Without it, they will be sad, lonely people. But as you know, they can never find out that we fairies exist. We are sneaky and only spread the powder when they are dreaming. I believe in you, Alfred. One day, you could even be the fairy king if you really believe to. These monsters want to bring us back to the darkness where we don't belong. They want the dark side to prevail once again. But we can do it, Alfred. I love you.
Thank you very much. The name of the fairy is Alfred, right?
Of the little one.
Of the little one is Alfred.
Yeah, the one that was speaking was the one taking me out of the mouth. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. Any questions for Philippe? Something you didn't understand from the story, or all good? Okay. So, anybody else who would like to introduce?
I can go.
Super, thanks, Nicole.
I chose the last card from the first row, the one with the cat. I saw a cat there. Okay, so the emotion was surprise. Oh, have you ever noticed cats? They're like tiny yet evil superheroes. They jump from one place to the other as if they are flying. I bet they have superpowers. They are so flexible and they are always sneaking to the most mysterious places. For example, last night I came back home and oh my God, I faced the most extraordinary scenery of my life. My cat was hanging from the lamp on the ceiling and was licking herself. Can you imagine? I was so shocked. She's definitely a cat woman. I just stayed there staring at her with all that surprise in my eyes. And she was just enjoying her time flying. No fear, no regrets. But how did she even got up there? I'm pretty sure she can fly.
Thank you very much for sharing. Are there any questions? Something from the story which was not clear for you, or did you understand everything? Okay. Anybody else who would like to share? Okay.
I think that's the same picture that Philippa chose.
Mm-hmm.
The fairy and a reptile.
The fairy and the here, right? This one.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. Super. Let's hear.
So, Miss Lily, I'm a rescue fairy. I rescue my peer fairies from disgusting giant reptiles that try to eat everything that moves. Luckily for us, fairies, we live high on trees where we build our cities, but sometimes fairies get curious about reptiles and fly too close to look at reptiles' eyes. They say that a fairy who does it will prove their bravery. I believe they will only prove them stupid. This time I had to rescue a young boy who drank too much funny pollen and decided to prove something to his friends. To extract a fairy from a reptile mouse, you have approximately 1 hour. After that, a poisonous saliva will start killing the unlucky one. We work in pairs. While one fairy tickles a reptile to make it open its mouth, I extract a reptile's victim from its mouth. It's a dangerous job, but I like it. However, there is a disgusting part to it. I hate the smell of reptile's mouth odor.
Thank you very much for sharing this story. I didn't get if is there a description of her job, a name of what she's exactly doing?
She's a rescue fairy.
Rescue fairy. Okay, perfect. Thank you very much. Are there any questions? Did you understand everything, or is maybe something you have a question for? Okay, thank you very much. All right. Anybody else who wants to share? Okay. I have for today, I have one exercise left, but I think it's a bit short time. So what I would propose is that we have, I will show it to you how it works, but we will not do it. And then we're going to have like a small discussion and reflection. And I want to share some other small things, what else is possible in the scenic writing. So to make it a bit shorter that we can finish on 7. Okay, so the next format I want to introduce is an interview, because now we worked in pairs. We thought, okay, how can we write Oksana's Coming Perfect? How can we write something as pairs? We wrote something alone. We connected it with a picture. And hey, Oksana, again, I would.
I'm really sorry.
No problem. Is it okay? Is it okay for you if we go quickly through this exercise for like 10, 15 minutes, and then we open discussion and the sharing part? Perfect. Okay, so the next method, it's based on the interview. So the idea is that one person, or in pairs, they interview each other, and then they write the interview down as a monologue. It's a really nice exercise, especially for people who criticize a lot their writing, and first they can talk and it's easier and they can write down what is said, and then in the end they connect it. But to explain you how it exactly works, I would try to show it, let's say. The original idea was to have it here, but with this half an hour left, it doesn't make much sense. So is there maybe a volunteer who would like to showcast this together with me?
I can help you.
Super. So generally you go with a topic. Right now we're gonna improvise a topic, and you can tell your whole group, okay, this is the topic, and then the task will be for the both to formulate a first question to start with. So let's stay with the topic heroes. And the idea from the interview is to find something personal. So I could talk to Marta, and we could think, okay, a question around the topic heroes. I could ask you which kind of hero, or who are your personal heroes and why. I don't know, this is the first thing that comes into my head. What else comes to your head when you hear topic heroes?
Do you have any living ones? Because when I think of heroes, I think they're like something of the past, something really idealistic and superior to us mortals.
So right now we're trying to find a question to start the interview with. So and then, okay, living heroes, is there a person you admire, and who is it and why? Okay, let's go with this. I mean, it can be something even more personal. Tell me about a specific situation in your life, for example. Right now, it doesn't really fit to a topic hero, so you have to see what how the group wants to start. So maybe we start. What did we say now? Is there a person in your life that you admire?
So I answer.
So okay, let's say I am the interviewee, and we agree on this question. And then it makes sense as leader of the workshop that you give them a specific time to do the interviews, like 5 minutes or something like that. So you would stop the time, you ask everybody, okay, do you have your question? And then you start. And I will take notes of what Marta says. I will take keynotes. I will not write everything. I will take notes. And then later we put everything together. So, Marta, are you ready?
Yes.
So I would ask you, is there a person in life you admire? And you would start telling.
Yes, there is. I truly admire my mom because she's like this unbelievable force of nature who does boxing, she works for me, my grandma, herself, in her job. She pays for everything, and she's like a hard worker who never gives up. And especially when my grandma was really sick, she was like, and she never gave up on us. And she's truly my hero, because if there's someone who will put everything in front of her just because she believes in good, it's her.
Okay. And my task is to ask for more details. Important in this situation is, if we talk about something personal, the person who gets interviewed has always the opportunity to say, okay, no, this is too personal. It's really important that they take the chance as well, but I should ask for more details. So you said she, what was your last sentence? Sorry, I got to be distracted.
That when my grandma was ill, she was really there for us, and especially for her. And so basically, yeah, she never gives up on people, and she's truly a hero.
She's truly a hero. And why do you think she never gives up on people?
I think it's actually a bad thing, because I think she kind of gave up on herself in order to be there for other people, and she kind of doesn't put herself first every time.
Yeah.
And that's a downside, but I think that's a downside that many of the good people have, because they are able to just put themselves aside and make other things priority.
Okay, so you see, I'm trying to get details, and I was trying to write down everything she said. And let's imagine now 5 minutes of interview are over, and then the next phase started. So I have all of my notes, and I will ask now Marta, okay, this is what I wrote down. Is this correct? And Marta says, yes, that's how I said it, or no, I said it a bit differently. So this phase is really important to check with your opposite, did I understand everything correct what you said? So I will start now. I understood from you that your mom is a hero for you because she kind of can have, I really listened bad, I'm really sorry for this, but I was a bit tragic. So your mom doesn't give up, and she has this incredible force. How she supports you, and she had to work and had to take care of you, and she managed everything together even when your grandma was sick, more or less. Do you want to add something?
Yes. No, that's the general idea.
She's truly your hero, but what sometimes is problematic is that you think that she only can be like this because she gave up, or she put herself more back. Instead of as important that she can care for somebody else. And you think that there's a lot of other people who do it like this because this is how it makes possible that you support so much somebody, because you don't care that much for yourself.
It's not that you don't care about yourself, it's like you put others first.
Yeah, okay.
As a priority.
Put as priority, okay. So we could have continued this game. It's really important to us, so I understand what she means. And when we have this finished, then we would switch, and Marta would interview me, same principle, and then we both would have in the end this page with keynotes, and then I would write a text for Marta in first person perspective, as I would be Marta, and Marta writes the text for me, because it's what we interviewed. So in the end, I would write a text where I would tell about my unbelievable mom, how amazing she is, that she's my hero, and that she doesn't give up, and that she puts other people first instead of herself. So that would be the end result of it. And it's really nice to have this change of perspective, because sometimes it's easier to write for somebody else, especially when you have the note, when you have the interview, and then you can of course add some small things. You can add sentences, but it should still be this interview and not a complete different story, of course. But it's nice to have this change of perspective, because sometimes people struggle to come up with ideas, and this way, when you talk, it's easier. And as well, you have this biographic moment that people really share something personal, because before we had story based on words, which is nice, it's more like creative writing, but now we have as well this biographical aspect when people really share something that is personal to them. But there you have to be careful when you involve it in the play that it's anonymous, because when they share something on stage, it should be always not recognizable for other people, because it might be too personal or something like this. So there you have to take care of it. Maybe you have to take out some information or something like this, if it might be a really personal story, or names, change names or something like this. Okay, that is the methods. Do you have question towards this methods, how it works?
I wanted to say that this was actually an exercise we had in counseling psychology classes. It was the exact same.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And what do you have it as, what's the purpose in that setting?
It was about the structure of an interview, like a therapeutic interview, and how to always be aware of what the other person is saying, and to confirm it and say, is it that or not?
It's as well used in, for example, approaches of communication, like this kind of, okay, I understand from you this, so with this, yeah, I think this is part of the exercise for sure. And that's as well one of the main, of the key things. Okay. So I have one last thing I wanted to share, and then we can have like small finishing discussion, because then we would, and I have one closing exercise, but then that would be it from my side. As you see, basically you can combine for the creative writing, you can combine it as you wish, or for the scenic writing. Right now we chose the Dixit cards, as inspiration with the pictures. But in the end, you can choose any kind of thing. You can choose a material, you can choose an object. I don't know, you can ask people to write a monologue of the calendar, or the monologue of, I don't know, the chicken. It doesn't matter. You can really like get ideas from everything out, or a conversation between the calendar and the chicken. What is as well really interesting, when you have different texts, you can, for example, use a freeze frame, so it's more practical. So you ask people in the group to make a freeze frame, and then 2 other people to write the dialogue of those people, or to improvise it first and then write it down. It's as well a possibility. So you make a small scene of improvisation, and then you write the basic thing down, and then you develop a dialogue out of it. So it can as well first happen actively, and then you write it down. Or you have a dance choreography or something, and then you write it down. What is as well interesting, for example, when you work with, for example, a newspaper. You have a newspaper, you have an article, and then you can ask participants to write from different perspectives. So you have an article about, I don't know, a conference, and then people choose one person and they write about the conference from their perspective. So when you work with different perspectives, it can be as well super interesting and give people ideas of writing. And I mean, as we written now a monologue, but you can write as well a dialogue, a story. You change the perspective. You can write, as we did, alone. We can write in pairs, in groups. I always would check with your group what they prefer, because especially in the beginning, there, as I said, there's a lot of doubts about the writing. And in the document I will share with you, there's as well one more exercise, and it tackles a bit when people have problems in the beginning with the writing. It works with this concept of the critical voice. And the critical voice is this idea of, okay, when I write something, then there's my critical voice that criticize what I write. And with this exercise, you can, you basically write down what your critical voice says. For example, oh, there's so many grammar mistakes in your piece. So by writing down, you visualize it, and you ask people, okay, next time when you hear this, ask this critical voice to go away for a while so you can concentrate, in order not to judge the text immediately. And a lot of times I think it's, okay, you write something, you introduce it, and then let people put the text away, because sometimes the judgment is so big that people cannot continue. And then it helps, okay, I write something, then I give it to you, and then you continue working, and then another person continues. At one point I get my text back and I'm like, wow, this is something else, but it's so nice that it got developed out of there. And sometimes it helps to overcome the blockades for some people. So I would say just mix and match with whatever you find. You can even, I don't know, gather material outside, whatever you want. And with the continuation, it's the same. So now we have the basic text. For example, about heroes, we have one, and this could be the beginning of our story, for example, and I give it to somebody else and he writes a second part of it, what happens afterwards. So you can build up on each other, and in the end, you have like a really nice co-production, and nobody knows in the end anymore who started and who finished it. Yes, so far, so good. This is was just a small input I wanted to say. Oksana, are you still with us? She's not.
No, yes, I'm here.
Perfect. Right now, does anybody else have questions about what I've said? Is it clear? Do you agree? Do you disagree? I don't know. Okay, good. Then I'm okay. Then I'm done. Then I would like to invite Oksana to share what she wanted to share before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, when you were sharing this exercise right now, with when you can have dialogue with another person, and also the exercises that we did before, it could be a very good base for creating scenes and for developing it further into something that could be like a forum theater scene that you can discuss with audience, and you can continue further into dialogue on this. On this story, but again, It could be a different kind of story. It could be stories like we wrote something funny about the Mickey Mouse and Brazilians, or Mickey Mouse and Luxury House that we write for fun. At the same time, it could be stories that we write that happen for real in our society. So it could be a step as well from this fun scenic writing to creating a space where we talk about something that is very important for us and very important and meaningful, like in this exercise in the pairs, where you really listen to each other and you really pay attention, you hold space for each other. It can be very beautiful the way it can also manifest on stage. And so the exercise that I started sharing was designed by me one time, just very spontaneously, when finding out how people could get to know each other in creative way, and at the same time through using method of storytelling. And so in this exercise, I asked everybody to write their name on a piece of paper. So we had big A4 paper. So there was a name and a name of a superhero or kind of superpower that this person would like to be or would like to have. And so this people turn the paper around, and then they start pass the papers in the circle so that somebody else gets their paper. So I would say 3 people to the right, so they pass to the third person on the right, and all papers go around in a circle. And then we are writing now on another side of the paper, just random words that come to our mind. And I make at least 10 rounds of different words, and I tell people, okay, write the name of your mother. Okay, write the name of your favorite plant. Now write the name of your favorite drink. Now write fruit. And they have to associate, and they have to write really fast. So at the time, we could have from 10 to 20 different words or different associations that have different character. It's not only nouns and verbs, but also something I could ask the question, what do you shout to somebody who is just getting into your house and you didn't invite them? What do you shout when you are at the most beautiful beach in the world? What do you tell to your mother who just made amazing breakfast for you? Or what do you tell to your partner when they touch you in a very nice way? So there's many different words, not only what color is your shirt. So you get adjectives in this list, but also you can get nouns, you can get characters, you can ask a favorite movie actor, you can ask different questions. So you get the selection of things. And every question we pass the paper. So a new person asks to the writes on the paper. So by the end of this round of questions, we have another piece of side of the paper that has a lot of words and phrases. And so the person who gets this piece side of the paper, they have to circle 7 different words. And or 7 different items. And then they pass this to the final person. And now the final person is going to take the 7 words that were circled, and they are going to look on the other side of the paper. There will be a name of a person and a superpower. And this person will have to come up with a story that uses these words that were circled, if mandatory, and to write a story about how this person explored that they have this superpower. And every person is going to invent a story about somebody else, and attention in the group is just on such a high level. Everybody is just so curious to listen to my story. Where's my story? Where's my story? Oh, this is such a nice story. And people even want to get their stories. Can you give me my paper with my story? So it's really very nice get to know activity that you can do with your groups. And every group I did it with, they're just so excited to share. They're so excited to listen to the stories about themselves. And at the same time, it's also empowering experience, because in the first round, you were thinking that you won the superpower, and then there's a story that you actually already have it. And it can be also very empowering experience for the person who is hearing their story, and it breaks the ice just in an amazing way. People who were strangers become really best friends in a very, very fast way. So you don't need 10 energizers, you just do this exercise and everybody's like going laughing around and at each other after. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing. I have a question because I got a bit lost. I don't know the exercise. So in the beginning, you have the name and the superpower that you would like to have, and then you pass it?
Yes, so it's one side of the paper. We write like on top, like superpower and the name. Like, for example, on one side of my A4 paper, I will write Oksana, and my superpower is teleportation. And then I turn the paper. And on the other side of the paper, we will be brainstorming a cloud of different words. It will be full of different words. And then the last person who gets the paper, they are going to see the words circled in the cloud. They are going to turn the paper where the name and superpower is written. And below that, they will write the whole story.
Okay, now I get it. Perfect. Thanks. Write the story.
And they will use 7 items?
Yeah, they have to use these 7 words, and they could use, of course, other words that they want. They can invent the story how they like, but they have to use these 7 words.
Okay.
And they are chosen by somebody else. I mean, that's the difference to, for example, the first exercise we did. You get them. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
So you have to be even more creative to connect everything. Nice.
Yes. It's very nice get to know activity. I used to do this exercise separately, just like icebreaker, where people would just write this word cloud without anything else, and they would just choose the words, then give to somebody else, or in a pair they would create a story together. Sometimes it's really, really funny, but yeah, it's with the connection to a person and superpower, it's another level of experience. It's also very empowering experience. It's not just hee ha ha and you know.
Yeah.
It's very fun, yet it's also added value.
Yeah, I think as well, especially when it's a superpower this person really would like to have, and then in the end you receive the superpower, is really nice. The narrative is really nice.
Yeah.
Philip.
Oh. I didn't know.
Don't worry. And I think it's time soon. So, I mean, we have 3 minutes left right now. I have one closing exercise, which will be 30 seconds or less. Right now, do you have questions about a specific exercise, about generally anything you need we could support you with? Maybe you can share briefly, all 3 of you, which are left.
I was wondering about other things. I don't know if you made it before. How can you use this for music, to write music lyrics?
Oh, this is also very possible to write. You know,
or poems.
You can also poems together. It's very nice to write. You know what? To write haiku, when to write this really 3 lines that are not connected to each other. That it's also so much fun, because when you open the whole poem, suddenly, it all makes sense. When we wrote haiku, I encountered several different variants. One is that there was a A4 paper, and one person would write 3 words, and then they flip and they close the 3 words, and then another person writes 3 other words, like another line, and then they close, and then the other person writes the last line of the haiku, and so then the final person is reading reading the haiku, it's sometimes it can get quite deep and beautiful when people don't even know what they are writing about. Also, I encounter ways when people see what the previous person is writing and they just add to it and they try to make it up as well. And with music as well, you can write lyrics.
That is true. You can, yeah. But Philippe, was it a rather question or proposal? I didn't catch that.
A question.
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, I think Oksana's right. I mean, in this sense, you can even
Yeah.
use it for music. Why not?
Yeah.
no, I was asking if you did it before, if there's any other specific way that you could use it for the music.
Mm-hmm.
But
Not
maybe
like
no.
this. No, not like this. But I mean, it's all really, I think everything is really closely connected. And when you write text, I mean, you see, it depends in the end on the format, but you can transform anything. So if you have a newspaper, you can get the perspectives out. You can, use it for music, songs, lyrics. I think in the end, you will structure your own exercise. And I think then you just have to give the instructions really concrete. I think that's always a thing, to have clear instructions. And I think then it will work in any field.
So it depends what we are talking about. If we are talking about individual writing, or we are talking about collaborative writing, it's it's also possible to do collaborative music making when I have, for example, material that I'm working with. Like I'm working with, my partner is working with paper. We could co-create a story without writing, without saying anything, but we just I make a sound and then they make a sound, and we can also create this kind of interaction just with sounds, that we make meaning out of it somehow. But at the end, it could make sense just for us having this dialogue and having this storytelling. Like, I just have glass as material to tell my story to you, and you tell me your story with paper. Or other ways to create orchestras where more people are involved with different materials or same materials, that they can create a story together.
Okay. Other questions? You can continue philosophizing, but I want to see if there's something else right now.
Well, I don't have questions, but I didn't understand your exercise so well, Oksana. I just didn't want to interrupt the one you explained before. But I think it would be cool if we did it together in that way. I think it's easier to understand. But I think these exercises were quite useful. And I think in the next workshop that I will give, which will be in the end of this month, I think I will try to put one of the exercises just to see how it works, to have like this exercise and then do improv with words. And maybe this will help them to like get looser, you know? But yeah, I don't have any questions, but I really enjoyed the exercises, so thank you.
Super. If there are no questions, I would come to the closing activity, unless there's a comment, a question. If not, you have our numbers and our emails, so
yeah,
you will find a way to contact each
Mark,
other as well.
I have a question to you. You told that you don't understand my exercise. You don't understand like the complete exercise, or just a specific part of it?
Some steps, but since you are here in Lisbon, I really don't mind meeting you in your backyard to understand the exercise better. So yeah, I'll call you.
Okay.
It's something about the steps, but we can do it later.
Together.
Thank you.
Super. Okay, then I would lead to the closing exercise. As I said, I'm going to write an email with all the material, etc. And thank you very much for this nice get together. I really enjoyed it. I really did. And as closing exercise, I would invite everybody just to share one word that is right now on your mind. It doesn't have to be about the workshop. It can be maybe you're hungry or something. Just one word after each other, and then that's that for that. And we can chill and have a chill Saturday evening. My word is happiness.
Fantasy.
Fantasy.
Christmas tree.
Christmas tree.
I'm running out of battery.
Out of battery. Marta, you want to share?
Oh, can't you hear me?
Now I hear you. I didn't hear you before.
I said sun.
Sun. Okay, perfect. We have all of it. People, thank you really much for being here. And yes, I wish you a great afternoon / evening, and see you soon. Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Ciao.
Ciao,
Bye,
ciao.
everyone.
Bye-bye.